Well, howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and it is Super Bowl Sunday. So, this live is probably going to go 30, 45 minutes if we get anybody in here. If we don't, I'll shut it down even earlier than that. I don't know what to expect. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so a lot of people are probably prepping for the big game. However, we normally do this on Sundays, so I figure we'll give it a shot here and see if anybody shows up. I do have a couple of things to go over today, a couple topics to talk about, things like that. And we'll see if anybody's got any input from out there. And we'll just have ourselves a good day. So, a little too early for beer. I got to wait till the wife gets home from work to make sure that that I don't have to help her with anything where I have to go drive or anything. So we will have ourselves a do here. Anybody there at all? Let's see. Got one. It says shows that I got one person in here, but no one said anything yet. So we'll just hang out for a bit. See if we get anybody in here. The things. So while I'm waiting, I'll go over the things that I want to talk about a little bit are Lost Ark, the launch of Lost Ark. I want to talk about NFTs a little bit because there's NFT news in the video game sphere and also in the tabletop role-playing game sphere. So, and then let's see here. Yeah, we got those things to talk about, and we've got a little thing from the vintage gaming collection here to show football related. So we'll do that and go over a couple of things. So if there is anybody in here, they haven't spoken up yet. So we'll give it a few more and see if anybody else shows up. The Lost Ark launch. Apparently, Lost Ark has been available in other parts of the world, but this was the launch for, I guess, the Western launch of it, because according to what I can read, it's been out since 2019, but it wasn't available here. So this was the launch here, and it didn't go very smooth, which is bad news for Amazon Games, because Amazon Games is the publisher for it, and so they're like a third-party publisher for it. And everybody knows that New World took a catastrophic downturn because of all the problems that Lost World had. It started out great, broke Steam records and shit like that, and did all that, and then it just went completely downhill into the toilet. And I don't know anybody personally that's still playing New World. I know I personally moved on. I loved it. I loved it at the beginning, but the problems that persisted in all the things, it's like it wasn't worth my time to keep investing time into that when there's other things I could be playing. So, and it looks like Lost Ark is having similar issues. So, all right. Well, it looks like we might have two people in here now. Again, no one has spoken up in the chat. So we had on our last live, I had everybody kind of do some predictions in the chat. Alejandro says, "Hey AJ, you watching the Super Bowl?" I'm hoping the Bruins win against the Bengals today. Hi, Sean. How you doing? Alejandro, do you really need to ask with all the shit that I'm wearing? Unless you're just listening to me, you're not watching. With my Raiders shit, with my little football angel and my Raiders jersey on. Do you really need to ask if I'm going to be watching the game? Of course, I'm watching the game. Uh, I'm I'm from Los Angeles originally, so I have to root for the Rams, even though I predicted that Cincinnati's probably going to win the game. But uh, yeah, so to answer your question, yes, Alejandro, I'm definitely watching the game, and yes, I am definitely drinking a Baja Blast. This is the zero sugar version, but the Rams, I hope, but it'll be tough to see if they. I don't know if they can beat the Bengals, but we'll see. So, uh, well, I got a couple people in here, so uh, I'm going to show this. This is a vintage because this is going to be a football themed live here. I got this at our local game store. They had bought a collection from somebody, and I turned around and bought a lot of that collection because they had this old vintage tabletop electronic football for $5, and it works. So I had to buy it. Here it is, right there. And what this was designed for. There was one before this that was just single player handheld that you could play, football, a very, very, very primitive version of football on there. And then this one came out, and this one was for 2 players or single. You could do it either single or you could have 2, and you would set it flat like this across, so that somebody sitting across from you would play on this side. Whoever's on offense would have it, and then when it was their turn to be on offense, you would just spin it around, and then they would be on offense, you would be on defense. And I'll turn it on here. So it does work, and it gives you the readout and everything. And then like you'll select, pass or whatever. And let's see here. Gotta remember how to start the damn thing. Okay, so I just kicked off, and that's how it looked. It was very primitive, but it still works perfectly. Just put new batteries in it. It tells you your field position, yards to go. It tells you all that stuff, and for $5, it's a vintage thing. It even has a thing, so you don't have to use batteries. It didn't come with a power source, but you could always get one, I guess, and do that. So from the old vintage collection there, I had to show the old football game here. Sean Connor says, I'm here for the gaming scoops. Hearing about Activision is cool. Well, there ain't much to report on the old Activision front, I don't believe. I just know that Microsoft is still trying to smooze those powers that be at the FTC to not squash the buyout. That's the last thing I heard about that. I did, like I was talking about Lost Ark a little bit, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about NFTs. Apparently, excuse me, NFTs are a big thing. I'm not into cryptocurrency, and I'm not into NFTs. Now, mind you, having said that, anything that we buy, any skin that we buy in any online game, Team Fortress 2 hats, any of that digital shit that we buy, those are technically NFTs, right? I mean, if they can turn around and be sold like on the Steam marketplace, like all the stuff you get in Team Fortress 2, most of the stuff, the weapons, the hats, all that shit, you can turn around and sell that for real money on the marketplace. So technically, those are digital assets that are worth real money. So that makes them an NFT, just like a WoW token, that is good for a month's gameplay, which is $15, and you can earn it by earning gold in the game and then buy one on the auction house. So it's all digital, and then you can turn around and sell that thing. It's worth $15, so that's all NFTs. In a primitive version. And now, of course, it's taken off into another thing where you personally own it in your crypto wallet and all that other stuff. So the way that this became a topic for today's discussion is apparently Ubisoft has decided that they're going to float the idea of using NFTs to to use NFTs to compensate some of their employees and or contractors. It doesn't sound like they've done it yet, but it sounds like they're floating the idea. There is an article. I'll even copy the article from Kotaku, and I'll put it right into the chat so you guys can go look at it if you feel like it. Hey, Jonathan. So yeah, they're talking about using NFTs as compensation now, and that's not, that's gonna go over like a turd in a punch bowl. I don't think people are down with that yet. And then the other NFT news that came out this week is that apparently Wizards of the Coast is floating the idea of getting into the NFT game, the Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering NFT game. Whatever form that would take. Jonathan says, considering how Bitcoin blew up, it's hard to just dismiss it. You're absolutely right. In a larger scope of the in the marketplace, you're absolutely correct. As far as Greyhawk 4x4 goes, I can dismiss it all the fuck I want. I just don't partake in it, So, but yeah, it sounds like Hasbro Wizards of the Coast is going to dip their toe into it in the D&D 5th edition Magic the Gathering thing. So, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter about it that people are saying that they've already done damage to the game as the original vision was, with a lot of the new changes that they've made and all this stuff, and now going down the NFT road will just further erode that. But a lot of other people us old grognards were chiming in there saying, hey, no one's saying you got to play 5th edition. There's more than enough shit, like, there's more enough stuff like this right here that people are putting out, independent developers are putting out, that you can play with old school essentials or original, first and second edition AD&D, go all the way back to the Beckme days with the OD&D and advanced basic and all that other stuff, and you can play to your heart's content and never ever have to ever pick up a 5th edition book. So but it is a discussion out there. So Jonathan says greenbacks for me too, my friend. Yeah, I'm just, if I can't put my hand on it, or so I don't even like the fact that everything is done digitally, like with PayPal and Cash App and all that shit now either. It works, but I always worry about when the solar flare storms come, if that ever happens. It happened maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago now. I can't remember, over Canada and the East Coast, northeast coast of America, where it knocked out the electrical grid for like 3 days or some shit like that. That was all solar flares. And they predict that we could have bigger solar flares that would knock out the electrical grid in big parts of the country, or the entire country at some point, or whatever. And it might be a week before you could get. Now, can you imagine? Everything's digital now. Your phone is everything. You can pay your bills with your phone. You can have everything's digital. You have direct deposit. No one sees a paycheck anymore. Hardly anybody uses cash. Everything's credit cards, everything. Imagine if the solar flares knocked out power in the power grid for a week. It'd be fucking anarchy. People wouldn't know what to do. People don't have cash. They wouldn't be able to go to the store because you couldn't buy anything, because they'd say, well, all of our computers are down. We don't have any way to scan it. We don't have any way to charge your card. A few people that do keep cash on hand, whatever, would be able to maybe go and get some stuff. but they wouldn't be able to give you change because they wouldn't be able to get the cash registers open because there's no power. Everything's based on power. So imagine that the power goes down for a week because of solar flares, and it is very possible that it causes the electromagnetic field to zap everything, and that's a Jonathan says, like the end of Fight Club, bring it on. Yeah, it's kind of funny that you're in here, Jonathan, because uh, I don't always know that you're going to be in here, but I did want to talk a little bit about our campaign. I'll do a campaign update. But for those of you that have been following the campaign updates on my channel, in our Dolmenwood campaign, Jonathan is actually the DM for our group. And on Friday, I'm just going to tease it a little bit for the update that I'll do probably tomorrow. The my player character, Eins Goldbach, Eins is no more. Eins fell in battle. So yeah, but I'm not going to go into any details. The details will be in the campaign update on how he met his demise, and any of the other topics or questions about the campaign update will all be answered then. But that's the tease. So, and I kept my word. I knew when we started this, because I knew how deadly Jonathan's campaigns can be. And I said, well, my first character is going to be Eins. My next character will be Zwei. The next character after that will be Drei, because that's how you count in German. Eins, zwei, drei. So my new character that I had to roll is Zwei. So Zwei Wagner. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about. NFTs, the Lost Ark launch. The reviews on Lost Ark are mixed on Steam. A lot of people are, now again, it's a free to play game, so they're not out any money. Now there were packs that, digital packs you could buy to get extra shit in the game, extra skins or whatever comes with it. So some people did put some money out for the packs and all stuff, but the actual game itself is free to play. So they really can't. When you get a free to play game, it's like New World. Well, New World, you had to buy the game, but there was no subscription. So if you got your $40 worth, then you really, you can't really complain too much once you get your $40 worth. As long as there's no subscription, they're not getting any more of your money. So, hey, Colin. But with Lost Ark, it's free to play. There's no cost to buy the game, and there's no subscription. So, people are putting that in their reviews, that they weren't out any money. So, but a lot of people are not happy with. Some of it is the mechanics. Some of it is the lack of story, they're saying, and that it's just lacking depth. They're saying it's high on the action scale, but very low on the role-playing scale. So it's more of an action game. But I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect anything different from what I saw. That I expected it to be mainly on the action front. So, how are things overseas there, Colin? Do you guys watch? Here's a question for you. Do you guys watch the American Super Bowl overseas? I'm assuming that you probably have access to it, but whether or not people are interested in it is another question. I'm sure that if you guys want to, it's on, but is there a big interest in American football over there? I had to show so this is it's chilly here. I believe you. This is my tear apart referee. My wife got this for me like 25 years ago, probably. I've had it ever since, and it is great for when you watch football I don't know if you're like me, but when there's bad calls on the part of the refs, I get pissed. Colin says there's a big interest in the Super Bowl, just not from me. Okay. That's good to know. I know they do play American football like exhibition game, or no, not necessarily exhibition, but they have games that they play over in Europe now, like 1 or 2 a year. The NFL goes over there and does games and stuff. So I knew there was some following. But anyway, so when you're watching and the refs make a bad call, you can just rip an arm off and throw it across the room, and it's soft, so you can't hurt anything, you know. And the whistle, it's an actual real whistle. It works. RIP headphone users right there. But yeah, all the limbs come off, head comes off, and when you get pissed, that comes in real handy. But yeah, he's been thrown across the room a couple times, but never really suffered any real, like, it hasn't like started to bust apart or anything. This thing's 25 years old, so well made. So anyway, yeah, I got that, and then you can actually see on his eyes, on this one eye here, you can see where when I like ripped the head off and thrown it or whatever, it's hit the wall, and it's actually chipped some of the eye off, because that's the only part you can really damage, I guess, of the eyes, because they're plastic. So, and then now my wife hates this damn thing. I only break it out at Super Bowl. This is my Homer Simpson. It is the that call really sucked, and that sucky riff is the suckiest suck that ever sucked. It's Homer Simpson, my Super Bowl mug, complete with when a touchdown is scored by, for the team I happen to be rooting for, whoever it is that particular Super Bowl. I got to give it every time. I got to give it the bell there. And so my wife hates this thing. She if she could make it just disappear, it would be gone. Well, at least the bell part. She hates that thing. So yeah. In short, it's a football themed live, and that's just the way we roll. Okay, so I am officially, I think, out of topics here. I can think of, unless anything else comes up. Does anybody have any questions or any topics that they want discussed? We can talk about. Book of Boba Fett. We can talk about the fact that Obi-Wan is going to. They dropped the date of May 25th. Ever played two-door games, Electric Football? It's a fun game, but a bit challenging. No, I have never played that particular Electric Football. Now I'm gonna have my eyes open whenever I go to, like, is it now, Sean? Is it a current Electric Football type game, or is it something like this? Is it kind of a vintage thing that I'd have to find, in a at a garage sale or a thrift store or something like that? I would be interested to know that. Thoughts on Futurama coming back? Hey, anytime that we can get good animated stuff coming back, yes. Oh, it's current. Okay. No, but I will keep my eyes open for it. Matter of fact, I'll go to, if it's current, I'll go. Let's see here. Two-door electronic football on Amazon. Oh wow. Wow, it's a whole thing. Like, they sell packs just for the different, like, here's the Carolina Panthers, the Houston Texans. I'm just trying to see where the actual the game itself is for sale, because this is all just the players. I'm trying to find the actual game itself. Um, yeah, Amazon, all they have are the uniform numbers, the players, but like, um, yeah, there's no the game itself is not showing. Um, Interesting. I'll have to do some more digging in on this. Um, Sean says they run tournaments. You make your own team as well. You can make your own teams. Well, it looks pretty interesting. Hey, 8-Bit Bill. Um, so Jonathan, on my last live, I went into pretty great detail about the finale for the Book of Boba Fett. But my general my general opinion was, it was it did not it certainly didn't leave me feeling the same way that at the end of the Mandalorian season 2 did. Um, and I've come to the conclusion that Robert Rodriguez with the Star Wars franchise is not my favorite director. So I had several issues with it. Yeah. Um, they have 3 to 4 different starter boxes. Now I'm gonna Sean, you might have just sent me down a rabbit hole, dude. Um, because it sounds almost like they're using the same type of model that like the Star Wars, miniatures game, um, which has all the different ships that you can collect and all that to play with and all that. They're doing the same. It sounds like they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it with actual football player minis. And because everything I saw on Amazon is like you could get every different team, you could get, you could make your, like you said, there's all the stuff to make your own. You could get the uniform numbers, you can get chin straps, you can get uh, set of 24 Invisibase strength cleats. Um, yeah, it looks like they're using the same type of thing, um, which could be fun, could be expensive too. Jonathan says, I love that the best episode was directed by a relatively new face, a lady whose name is, her name is Bryce Dallas Howard. She is Ron Howard's daughter. Ron Howard, the director, and the guy who was a kid on Happy Days back in, yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah. Um, Sean says, paint your own. Okay, so you can even paint your own. Yeah, see, that's a rabbit hole. Whoo. Get into that. Next thing you know, you spend a couple $100 and you're knee deep into painting them all and everything else. Yeah, I got to find the base game though. I got to see what the base game looks like. Yeah. So Jonathan, I don't know if you remember, but Bryce Dallas Howard was one of the best directors of The Mandalorian. She directed 2 or 3 episodes, I think, between the 2 seasons. And in my last one, I mentioned that my favorite directors are her, for the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett are her, and uh, um, who was that? Dave Filoni, obviously, and then Taika Waititi. Um, I don't remember which episodes. I'd have to go back, but I know that um, she directed one for sure. I'm sure that she directed one that was in the village. If the Mandalorian, when they were in the village, kind of the primitive village type area, um, and she did one of those episodes, and there was at least 2 or 3 that she did, and then Taika Waititi, Dave Filoni. Those are my 3 favorite directors, and then Favreau. So, um, Jonathan says, "I will happily watch anything Mr. Waititi does." Yeah, he's he's a good actor too. He's a good actor, uh, good writer, good director. So yeah, if I see his name attached to something, I'm usually pretty well down with it. So, um, but yeah, Robert Rodriguez. Now he has non-Star Wars stuff. There has been stuff he has made that I really liked. So I'm not saying he's a bad director. I'm just saying I don't think his style is a good fit for the Star Wars universe. Period. I don't think Robert Rodriguez's style fits in the Star Wars universe. So there it is. Let's see. Um, I'm probably only going to go about another maybe 15 minutes because it is Super Bowl Sunday, and I got to go get some. I got to start getting some wings ready and burgers, dogs, the whole bit, and for me and the wife. So when she gets off work, it's all ready to go before the game starts. So let's see. I think what else there is that is going on. Oh, I watched. We talked about this last time, and I swore I wasn't going to do this, but I ended up doing it anyway. The Netflix show Disenchantment, season 4. I said I wasn't going to binge watch it, and of course I did. I'm already done with it. That I love that freaking show, and a few of you had 8-Bit Bill just says, thanks for the tip on Disenchanted, only a few episodes into season 1. Yeah, and it gets better, Bill. Season 1 is just kind of finding itself as to what it's going to be about, like how deep they're going to go into the story and all that. Season 2, it gets the whole season 2 is excellent. Season 3 is excellent, and now season 4. Yeah, the way they left it, there'll definitely be a season 5. So I'm good. I'm happy. Yeah, there's a lot of adult humor in it that, you know, if you're not really paying attention, you'll miss stuff. You know, they'll make little references and then if you're not really paying attention, you'll kind of miss it. But if you are, you'll be, oh wait, okay, I know what they're talking about there. And so they reference other pop culture stuff, but it'll be very subtle. Oh yeah, Colin. There's yeah. I just finished season 4. It came out like Monday, and I've already 10 episodes, but they're only half-hour episodes, so it's 5 hours total for the season. So yeah, um, the story arc for King Zod um, is fantastic. Um, so if you've seen, you know who King Zod is. He's one of the main characters. His story arc through seasons 2, 3, 4, man, oh man. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not gonna. I don't want to ruin anything. So, um, anyway, so yeah, we're at 33 minutes. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, uh, hey Jonathan, are you still in here? I'll wait to see if you answer here. So, because I had a comment about, I was telling you guys that, with the campaign that Jonathan's running, my character died. So one thing I was going to talk about was I was all excited because in this that Edward Green, one of our regulars here, sent me, there is a alternative class called the Investigator that I was all happy to be getting into, and I wanted to roll an investigator and everything. And old Jonathan here, he had a different idea of what the investigator is than what I thought it was. See, I thought it was, I think of Van Helsing, because there of the investigator, there is two kind of versions of that. You can be like an inquisitor, which is kind of a religious type, and then there's the witch hunter, and the witch hunter is kind of the chaotic type. Um, and the witch hunter version uses arcane spells. However, they're capped. They can only use spells up to 5th level, and that's it. And so to me, that sounded like a Van Helsing type character, which in my mind would absolutely be able to wear leather armor. But Jonathan had different ideas, and he sees it more as, I guess, as a Merlin character as opposed to a Van Helsing character, because he was saying, well, no armor for the investigator, And so I was like, well, then I'm rolling another fighter because his campaign is deadly, and I ain't doing shit without armor. So, yeah, I didn't know if Edward was going to be in here. Just a balance thing, I guess. That class has a 6 D6 hit die and spells. You're absolutely correct. It didn't specify. It was just in my mind from the description. I'm thinking of Van Helsing, because to me that's what Van Helsing was. It's kind of like what Geralt is as the Witcher. Gabriel Knight. Gabriel Knight was the Schattenjäger, Shadow Hunter. All those. That's what I had pictured in my mind, and I picture all of them being able to wear leather armor. But hey, playing another fighters. Yeah, we can talk about it offline. But it was just something that I thought was worth mentioning. I didn't know if Edward was going to be in here. And I was going to get his take because he wrote it. So I was going to get his take. But he's not in here right now. It doesn't look like. So I was going to get him to because he didn't specify in there the armor, what do you call it? Proficiencies for that particular class. So, all right, guys. Trying to think here. Hey, Jonathan, did you? I can't remember if you chimed in on whether or not, or who you had in the Super Bowl. If you're going Rams or Cincinnati, or you don't give a shit. Time to cut the beard. Beard's going away come springtime. So, anybody else before the game today? Anybody that did not put their prediction during the last live as to what they think the score is going to be, who's going to win, what the score is going to be? If I remembered correctly, I was predicting Cincinnati. I was predicting that Cincinnati's going to. I'm rooting for the Rams, but I think Cincinnati was going to win, and I believe I said that they were going to win 27-24. It would be a close game, but it'd be 27-24. I believe that's what I said. But I can always go back and read the chat. And so I got everybody else's predictions, and we're going to see after, for the next live, if anybody was dead on, anybody was spot on their prediction. So, if there's anybody else that didn't already do that, that's in here now, that wants to put their prediction in and see how close they get during the next live, go ahead and do that now. Yeah, I'm all for the Rams, but my prediction was, I just have a feeling that Cincinnati is just a little bit more tenacious, and I think Cincinnati will make less mistakes. So that's why I think it's probably going to go their way. I hope I'm wrong. Now, the one thing I didn't consider when I was making that prediction last week, or on whatever day it was that was Thursday. The one thing I didn't think about was I had forgotten that the Rams, it's a home game for the Rams. They're playing in their home stadium. Just happened to luck out that way that Los Angeles was getting the Super Bowl this year, and they just happened to be in the Super Bowl. So for them, it's a home game. I had forgotten about that. So that could be the tipping point, that maybe that will give the Rams enough momentum and enough 8-Bit Bill says 28-27 Rams. I hope you're right, Bill, because I want the Rams to win. So, yeah, and again, I had forgotten about the home field advantage. I had forgotten all about that because I might have changed my. I'm not going to go back and change it now because I already made it. But, yeah, that might have. I might have meant what I might have went kind of like 8-Bit Bill did right there, with like a really close game with maybe the Rams coming out on top. But anyway, anything else? Anybody got any last minute questions or topics or anything they want to talk about before I shut this thing down and go start getting stuff ready for the game? So, and I hope that this is my first Super Bowl being retired, so I don't have to worry about getting up for work tomorrow. So if my team wins, and I celebrate, have a few beers. Don't give a shit. I don't have to get up in the morning. So, um, if nobody has any other questions, Colin says, "Hope the game is a good one." Yeah, Colin. What is the next for you guys over there for soccer, for football, for you guys, or do you watch like cricket or rugby, or do you watch all three of them? Because I'd be interested to know what's the next big match, the next big tournament for uh, for European football, um, or rugby or whatever. What's the next big event for you guys other than the Olympics that's going on right now, which I don't really follow. My wife is a Olympics junkie. She watches every minute of, she's DVRs all of that. She will literally not miss. She'll go back and watch it DVR'd. And oh, you're not a sports fan? Okay, I thought you just maybe weren't a American football fan. So, um, not even sports video games. Okay, I get that. Yeah. I'm pretty much a football fan. I don't really, the rest of it, I don't, like I said, Olympics I don't care about. Basketball, baseball, all that stuff I used to care about, don't care about that anymore. So it's pretty much football for me now. So all right, guys. Well, take her easy. And I hope everybody has a good Super Bowl Sunday, whether you're watching the game or not. And we will catch you on the flip side. And campaign update should be done tomorrow. See you then.